Hello and welcome to my Create tutorial series. Today we'll be covering all the possible tree farms, excluding trains because if you're using trains to make a tree farm, I feel like that's way too expensive. But I mean, hey, if there's enough likes and comments, I will do a train tutorial. Well, not a train, I don't know, we'll see. And to start with, we need to talk about what types of farms you can have because there's two different types, and I don't know if a train, if I don't know which one it counts as. It might count as a still, but yeah, let's get into it. So the first type is like your rotation, like they'll spin in a circle, and so the reason these and then like the straightforward and down, the reason that they're different is because these don't are not affected by blocks. So like say if I grab, I don't know, any block. We'll do this one, why not? So if I grab this and I place this block down, it's not affected by it. Like it'll keep going its day and it does not care about blocks. And then these, the problem with these is these do care about blocks. Because if I go and if I block this up so that it is in its way once it gets done exporting. So it can't do anything. Once it hits a block that it can't break, it shuts down. Like it won't move anymore or anything. But the thing is, as long as you're not having like anything that pops up, you really shouldn't. If you set this farm up right, you should never have anything that pops up in its way. That is why I'll go on to later why we have to add on these extra little saws, even though it's not chopping down any wood, and also these also additional saws. So then let me reset this real quick. And then it'll be good to go. And I will say the good thing is if it does spawn in it while it's moving, it's usually fine. It's only like whenever it's moving that direction that it stops. Like I've had this going on for probably 3 hours now, and it hasn't had a problem at all. And the windmill one also counts as rotational. So like if I were to place a block here, it just doesn't care. It just keeps going on its way. And then also with the train track, as long as nothing is harming the train, this itself, it counts as a rotation. Even though it's going straight, it doesn't count as a rotational. Now, why has this stopped? I see no reason to why you would stop. Oh, you went past. Okay, I know why. I know why this. I placed this. There we go. So this is because I added an extension to it, and now it went too far. Where is... I need a piece of stone. I don't have any easily... just go here. Was it top or bottom? It was top. There we go. Now it's fixed. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Now let me reset this real quick. There we go. Okay, so now that it's working correctly. So this one is just like that one over there. It is a, what do I call it? Like a straight. Like the ones that go straight are the ones that get, like, that can be stopped by objects. That is the piston one and the gentry shaft one. So each have their benefits and disbenefits. And if I were to say my favorite, I have a really special place in my heart with the gentry shaft. But, I mean, any of them works. So, like, these are identical. I mean, you can tell because they're identically made with... They're the same layout. This one, though, generates power. This one is generating... Well, you can get it to generate max power, basically. I just need to add a few more things to it, and it'll be maxed out. Right now it's doing 4,600, but if I were to build this up, like, I think one more layer, it would be max. And I think... I'm wondering why it's not placing saplings on inner ring. I might have not set that to sapling, but, I mean, it should work nevertheless. The cheapest design, I would think, would be... I'd say, I guess, the windmill bearing, because depending on speed, by how many sails you have determines the speed, and it also creates energy, so that's also something you can look forward to. This, on the other hand, depending how fast you want it to spin, it will take power. Like right now, it is taking 64 stress units, which really is not that much. And actually, if I speed this up... Shoot, why did... Oh. And you can make it go really fast. Really fast. To the point where it is just annihilating trees in its path. But that will cause it to use more stress units. So, at max power, it uses 1,024 stress units. Whereas this, though you can't change the speed, well, you can change the speed, but the speed is via how many windmill sails you have. And even at max speed, it's not going to be that fast. And not that you need it to be fast, because, I mean, you're not going to have trees growing that fast. Unless you just want to obliterate any tree that is in your path. Also, these designs have an auto output. So really the storage never fills up unless this backlogs. And I like it because it's always connected. You can do this. You can flip-flop it so that this is facing up. But the problem with that is the only way to get stuff out of here, it's a lot harder to set this up where you're pulling out of it. Because you have to pull out of this, and unless you have like a special mod or something like that, it's just easier to go down than it is up. So we'll go with the ones that don't take power. So the gentry shaft does not take power. It is it does not take SU, stress units. This takes stress units. It depends how fast you want it to go. All that matters is how fast this is spinning. So you could have a normal, you could do this early game, but the only problem with doing this one early game is, what is it? These things. So these are not very early game friendly because you need the redstone contact and you need the redstone link. It's really only the redstone link because the redstone link costs 1 brass casing. Once I get out of... Oh, shoot. Hold on. Options, controls, keybinds. I had to change that to something different. What's something that's not being used? Oh my gosh, everything's being used apparently. Okay, apparently that's not being used. Okay. There we go. So, it costs a brass casing and a redstone torch. The redstone torch is really cheap. It's just the brass casing. And depending on your mod pack, so with right now I'm doing all this on all the mods 9 because I'm doing a couple stuff and with that. This does allow you to make brass ingots this way, but that's not normally how it's made. It's in the normal create, it's going to cause you to have a blaze burner. So that's going to be a little bit further on. So if you want a really early game one, your best bet is going to be the windmill, or it's going to be the rotational bearing. And if you have it like 16 is probably a really good, really like not too bad speed, and it's only using 64 stress units, which is basically nothing. A water wheel, I think a small one gives you 256, and a large one gives you 512, and you either have to speed it up or slow it down. So yeah, that's all the. There is trains, but at the point you're making trains, you're gonna be doing other stuff. Like you're not gonna need. It just feels like a waste, in my opinion. So, and this piston one, I don't really care for. I don't think it's very practical. It does use the same redstone links as the other farm. So, I guess we'll start the build. Once I... No, I did not want to do that. Oh, I'm not in cheat mode, that's why. And you can do this any way you like. I'm just showing the way that I did it. If you... should I do it out of water wheels? Or should I just leave it be? I could do it with make it with water wheels so that you can actually see for yourself. Where's the saw at? So these are pretty simple, and if you know if you can make this, you can make the windmill one, because all you do is add extra little sides to it, and then build up with the windmill bearings. So I'll show you how to make this one, and then if you can make this one, you can make that one over there. So first, you make your storage. Now, I will say, actually, this one I could do with functional storage, and there's something I really like about functional storage that is really nice. Because you can get a storage controller, and then you can pick where you want stuff to go. Which is really nice. So I will grab an oak drawer for all the extra stuff. Because how much extra stuff there is? I think there's like twigs. Oh, there's a lot. I'm gonna need 2 of these. Actually, that's fine. Let's say I want the extra to go here. And then the thing I'm really after, which is the oak, I want going here. Of course, they can be moved however you want. I'm just gonna give them some netherite upgrades. Okay. Then you're gonna want to shoot. And then I am gonna set this. Let's see. I am gonna get oak logs, and I do want to set this one to oak. Make sure I link these. I did not grab one of these. Oh, no, I did. They're right here. Now, these portable interfaces do have to be one apart. And there is a problem when you first start the rotation that these will not connect, and you do have to place a portable chute in the middle to make it connect. And then you can break it, and then you're good to go. No, I want the stone. And if y'all do want me to make the patterns, I can, but I feel like this is kind of, how do I describe it? You're gonna want to make it however you want. So I feel like taking mine, I mean, of course you can if you want, but I feel like you're gonna want to customize it. You just want, this is just like a baseline of getting you thinking of what type you might want. And like there's a specific pattern how it goes is because the saw blades don't actually like they corner blocks. And it depending on how wide, that's why the circle ones are a little like setting up is a little confusing because like you do have to limit their area because these placers will place it sometimes where the blades can't reach it. So if you don't limit it, and then it's placing the saplings, you're gonna get like a ring of trees grown that the saw blades cannot chop. So that's why you gotta make sure to test it out. Like if you're doing like a specific design or you're trying out a new design, you're gonna have to watch out for that type of stuff. And the good thing about the storage network is that as long as I'm in a 12 by 12, I can put these anywhere I want. So say this is underground and I want it to be above ground, then I can have all this being teleported above ground instead of being stuck underground, which is really nice. And with this design, you're gonna see that I do have the specific area figured out that it will. So like on the inside corners, the placers don't want to place. And like even though you think these, even though this cutter can cut the inside row, the placer cannot. So I guess if you could modify it so that there's a placer in the inner area, but I mean that's just up to you. I mean I did a little testing with it, but Yeah, and then cut out. So with this design, I found that you have to, it goes 5 out, and once you get past that like initial part, then you have to, let's see, like right after here, you have to break it, and then, no, that's that. That's not right. Yeah, because you have the 3 points, and then it kind of like curves in a little bit. I find it easier just to destroy until I have the 3 points, and then just do one more. Yeah, and then you have the base. And now you're going to actually build the machine. So for that, it depends how big or small you want to make it, because you can edit this to have a bigger radius or smaller radius. The reason I don't have just like saw is because I think it's wasteful, because you get way more real estate out of having the saws and placers out further than having it in, where like right here you'd get like maybe you get way less for the how much they go around. It just depends how big or small you want it to be. Um, that's pretty much up to you. So where's my stone? Yeah. And you can use whatever material you feel like. I just use stone because I feel like that was just an easy resource for anyone to get. You always want to have storage. I mean, you probably, since this is automatically being deposited, you probably only need one. Like, you could use chests. Like, you don't have to use the item vaults, but I wanted to stay original to create. That's why I'm using the item vaults. And it's pretty simple. You just do this, and then right behind the saws, you place your deployers. You're going to want to set your deployers to oak saplings, or whatever saplings you want to use. I will say some saplings will not be usable with due to how they grow. Like, they have to be able to grow. There is ways to work yourself around that, and I have made farms like that before with the farm down there. I haven't made it with this farm, but I have made alterations so that the the ones that grow in a 4x4, if you don't want it to grow in a 4x4, you can leave spaces in between. And I could do, if y'all want me to show you that, I can show you that one later. It all depends on what people want. So then, at the very top, you're going to throw down a mechanical bearing. Make sure it's facing the right way. The default setting should be fine. And you get your super glue. You're going to glue everything together. And you do not want to glue it to, I don't think you can glue it to this, but you don't want to glue it to this. And you don't want to forget to glue this to it, because that is how you're going to get the items out. And once you do that, you're pretty much done. All you have to do is go over here, get yourself, I'm just going to do a creative motor. This could easily be done with like water wheel or just like pumping something. And now this is going the wrong way, so I need to go this way. And there you go. All you got to do is get yourself some saplings, and then everything's good to go. Oh, and then you also have to make sure that it is, see how this is not connecting? All you have to do is place a portable storage, and boom, it's connected. Why that happens, I have no idea. But this one will disconnect. Anytime it cuts down a tree, it's going to automatically go straight. I mean, to be honest, you have to have a storage type, or the mechanism won't pick up anything. Well, it might. I've never tested it. But it's best just to have a few little chests in it, so that it has like a little bit of a buffer. And that also gives you a little bit of a buffer here, so that like this doesn't overload and stuff. Now, yep, there we go. Everything's being put into the right place. logs are going in there, the extra berries and sticks are going here. And so if you do have the functional storage mod, I will recommend using it because this, I mean, yes, it works, but also getting stuff out and like say you want like this is a farm where you want like maybe it to be like on over here the output. If you do that, then you're gonna have to have a belt going all the way over here and then going up, and that's it. Just depends on your taste. I myself love functional storage and how it teleports items. And I actually, is this overflowing? No. So it might just be, well, just in case, I am going to do another. No, give me that back. Let's link this one. Where's my linker? Nope, this one. There we go. So just in case there's like a 9th item or something that gets put in there, it has room for it. So now this is completely passive. I've never really had problems with it. It's a pretty good straight up farm. I mean, I've had this one running for a few hours while I've been working. This was the first one I built, and it currently has 8.8k logs already, and it's been running for maybe 2 hours. And yeah. So next, basically the only difference between that is you build it exactly the same, except for you have a windmill bearing, and then you just build out the sides, and then you just glue on the windmill sails. And you can get up to the max power, which is, I think, 5,048 or something. But I don't have it maxed out yet. So, and then you can just, like, you can take the power out. I will say, if you want the power to go underground, you can flip this, have this going up. But the thing is, with it having going up, it has problems with getting... Because if you go up, the problem is getting this stuff out. Getting the portable storage out, because the only way you can get it out is by having a double chain. I forget what it's called. You'd have to have 2 of these brass funnels, which can mess up sometimes. So it's like, it's not a guaranteed thing. And you have to have brass. So then you're just like making it a lot more complicated, because now you're going to have brass. Because what you can do is you'd have to have one doing this and then one doing that, basically. And this would shoot it out. You'd have this on the top, and you'd have one shooting it out and then going into... You'd probably have one... That's not what I wanted to do. You'd have to have it like this, because the way this is structured, you have to have it have to be going up, and you'd have to be using the teleporter so that you can teleport it out of the range, so that's easier to use. So, in my opinion, this is a lot better. Having it go underground, and then it might be a little bit of an eyesore to have these shafts, but it's just up to you if you want to your opinions on how you want the shafts to be. I personally like this one better. It doesn't use a ton of power. You will have to power it some way, so you can have like maybe like a water wheel or something, or like a water wheel on the side over here, and then have it going up and then down to it. That's the only problem with the farms like this, which have the connectors, is either finding a way to power this, or if you do the windmill, you could just not take the power at all. You could just like put one sail on it, it'll go really slow, but it will still function, and as long as you don't care about getting the SU out of it, then you're fine. And the whole reason I thought of doing like this little tutorial was for so that people could get wood so that you can start getting into your first boiler or your first steam engine, which are really nice. I love steam engines. So the next farm I'm going to build is going to be because this covered, why is it not getting the edge? Huh. Weird. Well then. This one's never had that problem, but this one's currently having a problem cutting the edges. Well, he cut it down now. Now, why is this? I don't know. See there, it just now cut it. But, yep. So the next one I'm going to cover, which this one's kind of, so the gentry shaft and the piston are very identical. The difference being, the only difference being this one having this really long pole you have to watch out for, which I don't really care for. I mean, it just depends on your opinion on it. They use the exact same system of pistons and that to with gear shift to retract and expel. And I guess the bonus is you save a saw going back, because if it's going back, this counts as a block, I believe, so that it won't have leaves won't like spawn in this area, I believe. Yeah. And then the minecart as well. So I guess I'll do a copy of this farm. I went 5 across, didn't I? Yeah. And this can be as long or short as you want it. It just depends how long you want it, pretty much. Let me grab a gentry shaft. I didn't have to delete that. I'm being a goof. Saws that. Redstone. I do need pistons. I believe that's all. So let's just build the carriage and then we can add that later. Is that one away or? Yes, it is one away. Go one out. Oh wait, it's up one. My bad. that the same? Yes. Then you just expand it out. Of course. No, I did not say expand this way. Okay. And you will have to watch out because it will... what is it? If redstone gets put on this, then it will stop working. So you want to make sure that redstone doesn't ever touch this line. Because whenever redstone touches this line, the gentry shaft will turn, instead of going up and down, it will turn rotational force onto the little gearbox it has. So whatever is attached to it will start cutting away, or whatever you want to move that stuff to. Wait, did I mess up? Oh, I'm 2 over. I only need to be 1 over. Whatever, it's fine. Let's put storage there. Does it need a lot of storage? Not really. We'll just have 1. But with this design, you're gonna have to have saws on both sides. So that's what's different. So where do I have these facing? They're facing this way. Of course, you want to set these to whatever sapling you're using. And you have your saws. You will have to shift or it will just pick up the saw, sadly. Which is kind of annoying. But after the first one you fix, then it's pretty easy. And just don't shift on the back so it doesn't invert it. And then I think I need a gear shifter. Gear shift. And then I actually need a little bit of shafts for the gap. Because you have to have a gap so that the redstone doesn't touch the system. You gotta have a space for them, or it's gonna mess up. You're gonna get cut up if you stay up there, dude. Literally by the saws. So where did I put... There it is, the redstone. So, and what's really important for this design is to have this redstone connector. This is what's gonna tell it to... And you actually have to put saws on both sides, because this can cause it to get stuck via leaves, and you're gonna need saws here too. There we go. This is gonna pull back. I am afraid of it not having enough storage though. It should be fine. I could put storage here. And that should be fine. Maybe just in case put saws. The problem is you don't want it to get stuck. Because if it gets stuck, then you have a farm that's not going. And that's not good. glue all this together. This one can be glued to that. It doesn't really matter. And then you need to have it. You need to have these whenever it stops. So I see that end of this gentry shaft. I'm gonna want it to be right at the end of it. And I want it to touch. Because that's when that's gonna tell it. Yeah, that's gonna tell it to go the opposite way. And if you don't have something to tell it to go the opposite way, then what are you gonna do? And then you're gonna have to pick which side you want it to be up and down. You can use whatever you want. I guess I'll just use some shafts. You'll be up. You'll be down. And then you want these over here to be receivers. And then I'll have to figure out which is up and which is down whenever I turn it on. Then you create you get power to it. And this does not take any power, though however fast it's going. Let's see. So this is determined on how fast that's the speed of the rotation is. So up would need to be this one. This needs to be down. Your redstone block. Bada bing, bada boom. Now it's moving. Now, of course, you're going to want it to go at max speed because why not? I mean, why would you not want it to go max speed? Because it doesn't take any rotational force. And yeah. See, dude, stop. You're dead. You're 100% dead. You're gonna kill your little guys. What are you doing? I will say I did not hook up a connection to it. I do need to. So what I can do, if I break this block, it'll cause it to stop. I'm gonna replace this storage, and I'm going to put a portable storage. And then I actually need it to go the other way. There we go. No, shoot. There. So you go over here. And then I'm gonna want this. And then just like before, you can just use storage controller, or you can use vault. It's up to you. Actually, I'm just gonna those. And then I need a linker. There we go. You can lock it if you want. It's just up to you. And then I think this baby should be ready to go once I get a shoot on it. Why must you do this? I swear, is it gonna put like leads or something in there? Did it pick up the llama? And every time it passes through, it's gonna try to insert something into the system. But since there's no trees to cut down and it hasn't cut down any trees, it's not gonna do anything until I put some trees down and then get some bone meal. Grow. Okay, cut down a tree. It's going to deposit. Yep, there we go. And yeah, I have it at max speed. And this can be as long as you want it to be. You can have iPad in multiple rows done with this. So on this one machine, all you have to do is move where this redstone contact is. Just move it out a little further. Have multiple rows of different crops. Just make sure you have enough storage so that it doesn't overflow and then you're just not doing. You could have this go on, add on to like a carrot farm, and then have a space, and then have like other farms, and then this will all, and then have it go into a drawer controller that goes to drawers. I mean, and you can just use the normal create. It just depends how you want your system to be. This is exactly the same. Like, I feel like I don't need to build the piston one. It's exactly the same, except, I mean, this, since this, you can move it on the edge if you want, so that it's like over here, and then have this so that it only does once. And you just have, it's the exact same system. You just have a piston. That's really the only difference. I feel like I don't need to build another one of these. But I will build another of the cart. But if you understand that farm, you can understand this farm. It's just the redstone contact, redstone connection. Stick it over here so that with a gear shift, so that whenever it goes back, it moves the redstone and it withdraws it. And with these farms, since it goes solid, it'll go. Well, actually, I don't know if it goes solid. Yeah, it goes solid. So whenever it stops and it retracts, it goes solid. So you can't have trees or anything there because it's gonna destroy the saplings, and it's gonna replant the saplings, and then you're gonna have a bunch of just items on the floor, and it's just not worth, in my opinion. But yeah, so these can be. It just depends how long you want it to be. Like this could be forever. Like you could build it all the way to the end of the chunk over there, or all the way to the end of the ocean if you want, all the way down. All you have to have is have the connection so that whenever it does happen, it goes over here and tells it, okay, you need to come back now. Like you've gone far enough, you need to come back now. And it depends on where you want the drop points off for. And you can, I think, filter these. So if you do have like, if you want certain drop areas for set items, you can add filters. But yeah, let's get started in the building on the railway. The railway is pretty simple. You have to have it loop back. I mean, to be honest, you can make it shorter. Actually, I will make it shorter. Okay, I'm gonna need a minecart. What was it called? I think it's called the minecart assembler. And then you're gonna need some powered rails so that it keeps going. So this one, I think it's gonna go. I'll move over a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah, the reason I didn't do that is because there's no way to get redstone to it. This side might have to have more redstone. Assembler. Actually, no. Okay, so that works. Yeah. So then you just want to have... Right, that one? Yeah, stone, and then go up. This one, I've had a lot of people say that it can mess up. I've never really had one mess up that bad. I've had it like visually bug, like where it stays in one place visually, but it's actually like it's still with the minecart and it's still working. But it's just up to you if you wanna go with this option. Where is the... Which means I could probably... So if I... Yeah, it's not powered. That's what I thought. That's the problem with not going extra wide, is you can't power the in ones, except if you... I guess if you go underneath and put a lever, you'd be fine. So like if you go here, turn that lever on. Okay, so you can do it that way. And you don't really run into any problems. That's not bad. Okay, so here, take the saw. Oh yeah, you have to stop a little bit beforehand, I forgot. Because of how you place these. Well, what if I place them this way? Oh, that would probably be better. And then I rotate them. That's probably better than the initial design, because now they should go even further. Because now they'll actually place on the edge over here. So then I would be able to have dirt there, I believe. I mean, we'll see. Of course, you need to deposit it. I had it where you don't have to use that design. I'm going to use the storage, whatever it's called. That's probably fine. And then on the end, I need portable, portable. And 3. go. Linking tool. Now, if you're just like doing vanilla Minecraft or just vanilla with it, and then you don't have all these extra berries and apples, it just seems I only need 2 instead of the extra one. You don't. All you need is this, and then apples and sticks, and then I guess saplings as well, because you don't have these berries and whatever being picked up. Now this is linked. I should be able just to put a chute on it. There we go. Now, I think this is good to go. I just need to glue it all together. There we go. All I gotta do is put a minecart in. Make it a contraption. And give it a good old push. Oh, I didn't lock rotation. So that's one thing you gotta make sure with this, is you have to make sure you lock rotation. Oops. So you just make sure you have it on lock rotation, or it's gonna do that weird spinny thing, and you won't really get as many resources as you're looking for. Now it should be good to go. Let's give it some saplings. Did I set the things to saplings? I don't know if I set the thing to saplings. I did not set it to saplings. There we go. Just gotta give it some trees. Now you might want to give the hands a little buffer so that they'll place it more often, because it's gonna take it a little bit to actually put like the stuff in the hands if you don't give it an initial like starting like little bit. There we go. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's planting all good. Well, let's see about this end. Does it plant the end? So I just want to make sure. It does. It does plant the end. So, yep. That is all the ways you can make a tree farm. If you did like the video, if you don't mind, leave a like. And also, if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. And if you want to see my content live, because I do go live whenever I'm making all this stuff. So, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I will see y'all guys in the next tutorial. Why is there little logs over there? I guess, why? Okay, so this one hasn't had any problems, like, at all. What is wrong with this one? Why is this one unhappy? I don't know. I guess this one, it's 5 out. I don't know. These are identical, but this one's having problems, and this one's not. I mean, I guess that's great for you. Well, thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you. See, it just fixed it. Fixed that one. Weird. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.